chatting with Mark Shapiro, the managing editor of the Baltimore Jewish Times. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for being here.
We're learning all about the behind the scenes of how this magazine comes together. Tell us a little bit about your role in this publication.
So I oversee a team of 3 reporters. We have an in-house photographer, a number of columnists and freelancers as well. And, you know, basically it's my job to make sure there's good content in the paper every week. We're like any sort of community newspaper in that we cover, you know, news, politics, the arts, national news, international news, localizing those things, but all through a Jewish lens. So that obviously narrows our focus, but because the Baltimore Jewish community is just so rich and has its hands in so many different things, we have a great diversity of things that we cover. I would say the biggest challenge, but also the biggest opportunity for the paper is to cover the Jewish community in all of its religious diversity, all of its geographical diversity. You know, Baltimore has a growing Orthodox community, but there's a lot of young people who are not finding that synagogue life is the thing for them. So there's a lot of sort of DIY Judaism popping up, a lot of different kind of young people community groups. As the Jewish people, as the Jewish publication that's been here for almost 100 years, we need to definitely be aware of our past and where we came from, you know, as reporters, as Jews. But it's a big responsibility to, I think, capture this moment in time of Judaism in transition and take a look at what that might mean for the future.
So you mentioned there's a diverse amount of content. How do you narrow it down? How do you decide what the cover story is going to be, or the main thing that you're going to focus on from week to week?
So our cover stories, we do plan pretty far in advance. Some are news-based. We've done things like big development stories in Owings Mills and Pikesville. We've done minimum wage. We've done cover stories on, you know, differing opinions on Israel, differing opinions on the Trump administration. But then a big thing we emphasize is just great community stories. So anything that's just an intriguing feature can be fair game for a cover story.
So much of this happens out in the field, and you yourself were a reporter. Talk to us a little bit about the stuff that we don't see when people are going out and getting that information, getting that content.
Of course, yeah. Well, you gotta kind of pound the pavement. I mean, our political reporter will go to city council meetings, county council meetings. Anytime there's a bill of concern to the Jewish community, we'll go down to Annapolis and hear the testimony. You know, but as a reporter, you can always talk to someone on the phone, but I think you get the best stuff when you can see someone in person, you know, kind of take note of their mannerisms, you know, see a place you're writing about, really get to experience the whole thing. So the reporters are generally you know, out in the field to do as much of the reporting as possible for their stories. It all happens within a week. We have our editorial meetings on Wednesday, where we talk about that week in particular, and then sort of what's coming down the pipeline, do a little bit of advanced planning. Wednesday, the stories are assigned. The reporters are out reporting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday, things start to come in and get laid out. Tuesday is our hardcore production day. You know, we're reading the pages and editing them, going over things several times. And by the time we leave Tuesday, the paper is pretty much done. We do one final check Wednesday morning, and then it is shipped out.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much. This is great, and I look forward to learning more.